The Chesapeake Bay and Muhammad Ali are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is September 5th, 2022. It is the 248th day of the year. We got 117 days left. It is the 36th Monday in the 37th week and the 77th day of summer. Almost 2 weeks till fall. 17 days. If today's your birthday, your birthstone is still a sapphire. Today is National Be Late for Something Day. On September 5th, Be Late for Something Day permits us not to abide by our schedule. Go ahead and sleep in a little bit, as today you have an excuse. The holiday aims to promote the positive part of procrastination, which I embody procrastination. As an example, 2 weeks ago I started my New Year's resolution, which was to stop procrastinating. So get out there, have a long conversation with someone you don't know, smell some flowers on your way someplace, stop by a 7-Eleven and drink a Slurpee in the parking lot when you got 5 minutes to get across town. All right, let's see what else September 5th has given us. 1781, the Battle of the Chesapeake Bay in the American Revolutionary War goes down. The British Navy is repelled by the French Navy, contributing to the British surrender at Yorktown. Yeah, you know, it's really weird. I know I read a lot of history and a lot of things about the United States. Not a lot of people realize how much the French actually helped us during the Revolutionary War, and it's not because they particularly liked the United States. They just hated Britain. 1812, the War of 1812. The siege of Fort Wayne begins when Chief Winnemax's forces attack two soldiers returning from the fort's outhouse. They usually dug the outhouses on the outside of the fort, and then if someone laid siege on them, then they just dig one inside the fort. But unless they were under attack, they really didn't concern themselves with that. Why not go outside the gates and do your business there? 1862, the American Civil War. The Army of Northern Virginia crosses the Potomac River at White's Ford in the Maryland Campaign. 1942, World War II, the Japanese High Command orders the withdrawal of Milne Bay, the first major Japanese defeat in the land warfare during the Pacific War. This was very interesting. So this was mostly like 90% fought by Australian troops, and it was in New Guinea and Milne Bay. A lot of people refer to this as the Japanese D-Day. The only difference is the Japanese lost a lot of soldiers and they got defeated. The Allies at D-Day, they lost a ton of troops, but at least they succeeded. This battle started on August 25th and went on till September 7th in total, but they were ordered to withdraw on the 5th. Now, the whole battle and the time before and the time after was rough. This island, I mean, if the Japanese didn't kill you, it was going to be something else. The insects, just the nature alone was taking a lot of people out. It rained all the time, it was hot, it was humid, malaria, anything that could kill you naturally was there, and you had the enemy element. So I'm sure for the Australians, when they saw the Japanese finally evacuating, they probably figured, well, there goes half our problem. We still got to survive the jungles of New Guinea. Now, the initial part for the Japanese was, going not as well as planned, but they were advancing. Then on August 31st, the Australians moved in for a counterattack, and it was successful. One interesting thing about this, the Allies outnumbered the Japanese. Normally, it's the other way. You throw a lot, I'll use the military term, you throw a lot of bodies at this, and it's going to happen for you. And that's kind of the mentality when you're invading someplace. But the Japanese had just a little less than 2,000 hit the beaches, while they had a force of over 8,000 Australian and Americans. In the end, 625 Japanese were killed, 311 wounded. On the Australian side, 167 killed and 206 wounded. In the United States, like I said, they had a small force there. They only lost 14. This was the first time the Japanese really tasted defeat in World War II. This was supposed to be a major operation for them and a turning point and really set them up for success in the future, and it just didn't work out for them. 1960, Muhammad Ali, back then he was known as Cassius Clay, wins the gold medal in the light heavyweight boxing competition at the Olympic Games in Rome. I love watching the old videos of him and Howard Cosell go back and forth. You would have thought those two hated each other, but apparently they were very friendly. I'd love to show you some clips of their interactions. It's just beautiful and it's funny and it's so entertaining. Then you find out that they were actually really close friends as the years went on. 1975, Sacramento, California. Lynette Fromm, known as Squeaky Fromm, attempts to assassinate U.S. President Gerald Ford. Now, we talked about this last year. I just thought we should mention it again. It would have been the deep dive. I think it was last year. 1978, Camp David Accords. Menachem Begin and Anwar Sadat begin peace discussions at Camp David, Maryland. 1996, Hurricane Fran makes landfall near Cape Fear, North Carolina, as a Category 3 storm with 115 mile-per-hour sustained winds. Fran caused over $3 billion in damage and killed 27 people. 2017, It. This is a movie based on a Stephen King novel of the same name. This film follows a group of kids as they are terrorized by an evil clown. This is one of the few scary movies I went and saw. My kids wanted to see it. There's nothing going on around here, so I took all three of them to see it. This is only a couple years ago. They're all adults at this age, or at this time. And I get there, and my daughter, she's just this little thing. She's like barely 5 foot tall. And we're sitting in these big seats, the lounger seats and all that, and we're relaxing and watching the movie. I look over, I didn't realize she brought a full blanket in her bag. She's all cuddled up like she's at home. I don't know, it just cracked me up. But it's a pretty good movie. It made more than $700 million at the box office. Yeah, if you like scary movies, obviously this is a classic. Born on September 5th, 1946, Freddie Mercury, flamboyant lead singer of the iconic rock group Queen, who was known for his remarkable vocal range, which I don't care if you like their music or not, you gotta appreciate this guy's voice. He wrote many of Queen's classic songs like Bohemian Rhapsody and We Are the Champions. I didn't like the documentary movie they made about him not too long ago. I only got about halfway through. It's called Bohemian Rhapsody. I like the actor Rami Malek that played him. It had all the things that should have made it good. I just didn't like it. I got about halfway through and turned it off. But he is a great singer. Sadly, on November 24th, 1991, about 24 hours after issuing a statement, Mercury died at the age of 45 in his home in Kensington, England, from complications from AIDS. Died on September 5th, 1997, Mother Teresa. She was a Catholic nun who made her life's work to care for the sick and disadvantaged. She spent most of her life doing missionary work in India, and in 1950 she established the Missionary of Charity in Calcutta, which provides hospice for those suffering from AIDS, leprosy, and other illnesses. So I know all about Mother Teresa and her life's work and all that. I've read more than a few things where people criticize how she flew around the world in a jet trying to raise money for her organization, and some of these people try and paint this picture of her as this evil woman who was just in it for the money. It's I just got to shake my head. It just shows you that no matter what someone does in their life, there are some dysfunctional human beings that will just go out of their way to try and find something negative. And to me, it's ridiculous. I mean, no person's life is perfect, but the good that this woman did for the people of India and just the world in general, versus the fact that she may have flown on a private jet to go make money to help more poor people. If that's all you got, you need to find a new hobby. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox now and move on with the video. She did receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Ronald Reagan in 1985. She also received the Nobel Peace Prize. Mother Teresa had a heart attack in Rome in 1983 while she was visiting Pope John Paul II. Following the second heart attack in 1989, she received a pacemaker. After a bout of pneumonia in Mexico in 1991, she had additional heart problems. On March 13, 1997, Mother Teresa finally resigned as head of the Missionaries of Charity. She died on September 5th of that year. Oh, and in 2015, she became a saint. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a productive day, and be nice to each other.